Breaking news. This is a News 13 special report.
And this News 13 special report starts with breaking news today. A suspected Chinese spy balloon was shot down over our area this afternoon. This is video sent to us by a viewer. According to the Associated Press, President Biden said today he ordered U.S. officials to shoot down the balloon earlier this week, and that national security leaders decided the best time for that operation was when it got over water to protect people's safety below. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Annette Pegler. Let's get straight to breaking news. Fighter jets shot down the giant white balloon off the Carolina coast just hours ago. Around 2:30, we have live team coverage from News 13 Manny Martinez and News 13 Claire Purnell. With what we know so far, we began with Claire Purnell at the Spring-Made Pier, who spoke with people who watched the balloon go down. Claire, what's going on there right now?
Annette, I'm out at Spring-Made Pier, and when we got here, there was a whole crowd of people who watched the suspected Chinese spy balloon get shot down. Debbie Pinsky says she watched the whole thing happen. Debbie, what did you see?
Well, at our home, my husband got a text from a friend, and she said the balloon is above Surfside Beach. And so we went outside, and we saw the balloon and like two jets flying around it, like in a circle. And then a third jet came and was flying around it for a while. And we heard a big boom, and then we didn't hear anything else. And so the balloon started to move. And so we got in the car, and we thought, well, we'll follow it. And before we got out the back gate, they had shot it down, and you could see like in the sky, like the squiggly lines from them shooting it, and then the balloon became elongated instead of being round, and then it started coming down.
And you said you heard the jets?
Yes, we heard the jets. Yes, they were very loud.
Reporting in Horry County, this is Claire Purnell, News 13.
Claire, thanks so much. And flights were also grounded at Myrtle Beach International Airport. The ground stop was lifted right after 3:30. News 13's Manny Martinez continues our live team coverage right now at Myrtle Beach International Airport. And Manny, your flight was actually delayed. What else is happening there right now?
And then it was delayed, and then it was ultimately canceled. And right now, looking at the departures board, it's the only flight that was canceled. It was the Spirit flight this afternoon to Orlando, and it was canceled just because of the fact that that flight would have been coming in from Orlando, and they had to stop down there because of the ground stop here in this entire area, and then never made it out. So it was first delayed and ultimately canceled, and then people had to figure out and get down to the ticket counter to find out what it is that we're going to do. And some people have told me that they are going to instead fly out tomorrow. Now, the ground stop started at a little after 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then it was lifted just a little over 2 hours later. And in the part of the airport at MYR where I was at the A terminal. There were 3 gates with flights. It's hundreds of people. And like I said, that's hundreds of people on my flight to Orlando that are figuring out what it is that they're going to do, and then hundreds more on a couple of American flights that were delayed, and hopefully they're getting on their way. But things have now resumed back under normal operations, and earlier in the day we spoke with one passenger who was stranded.
We got to the airport today. We checked out the, as the way in, we got to look up and you could see the balloon and saw the jets kind of circling it or whatnot. And now we're trying to fly from Myrtle Beach to Charlotte, and then from Charlotte to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Rochester. However, we're going to pretty much miss all these flights.
And his story, like so many others here today at the airport, of missed connections and scrambling to find out what the next steps are. And even that balloon, we saw it, and the jets scrambling around it, we saw that as well. That was quite the spectacle, drawing a crowd at the airport. But all in all, quite a hectic couple of hours here at MYR. But so far right now, the ticket counter is starting to look a little more like normal. There were lines out here that were about 50 people deep or so at points in times. But Annette, that's all I have from MYR for you. Hopefully I have a little more at 11.
Manny, thank you so much. Certainly a hectic couple of hours as that suspected Chinese balloon was shot down right over the Carolina coast. News 13's Paul Karen was also in Surfside Beach watching it all happen. He joins us live with a phone call. And Paul, explain to us what you saw.
Annette, I started out, I was in a store at Surfside Drive in US 17 When we walked out, I looked up, and of course, I've been tracking this balloon. We got viewer tips that it had been in Hartsville. It was heading this way, and we saw the balloon. So as our viewers and the person I talked to, Claire Purnell, said, there were military jets circling it around. So as it was getting close to the coast, I moved down closer to Surfside Beach. At Scotty's Beachside Bar, it was a spectacle. There were crowds of people on the beach in the areas that go over what used to be the dunes before Hurricane Ian took them away. People standing there, crowded there. You couldn't walk through there. They have their cell phones up, literally watching moment by moment as this balloon floated over. Then all of a sudden, you saw what looked to be a laser-guided missile go after, and all of a sudden, the balloon started drifting into the ocean. People cheered. People inside the bar were watching it on live TV. One of the networks had it on live, and people outside couldn't believe they were watching history before their very eyes, right here falling right beneath them here at Surfside Beach. They were watching this moment happen. As we've all been watching this balloon for days now come across the United States, here it comes right off the coast, landing in the ocean just on our doorstep.
Thank you so much. That's News 13's news director, Paul Karen, explaining how he witnessed that balloon coming down as well and all of the things surrounding that. And you can find all of our coverage right now on WBTW.com and on our News 13 mobile app. You can download it from your app store. It's more local coverage you can count on.